welcome to PolishLynx here, and another day in the mountains. The therapeutic forest? What? Okay, I mean, I guess it might work that way. Sonny, the therapeutic forest seemed to be good for our health and body. Clear air, I mean, that definitely works well. The green and the smell of the plants were a very good sight to our eyes. The rustling of the branches and leaves which were friendly to our ears. Not only was it good for our... Suddenly music. Not only was it good for our relaxation, but it also would reduce our cancerous cells according to one theory. While I was staying in the forest every day, I thought it might have been true. Well, that's refreshing, Shiro. I'm not hot at all, just keep lying to yourself. Even though the therapeutic forest would be so good for our health, it would be offset by the heat. Even though the sun was guarded properly by the trees, that day was especially hot. It was an extremely hot day. We had worked all day in the forest as well. If you stick to your lie, it will be true. Shiro, you should try it. You were the one who ate that! I suspected Grandpa. I had been looking forward to eating that. But it was too hot, so I wasn't angry about it. When we left home, even Kon seemed to be hot and tired. Grandpa had gone to the doctor, so it was only Shiro and I working that day. No, that's alright. Take it easy. We shouldn't kill ourselves. I made a mistake in selecting a place to work today. Today's workplace was more densely packed with junk than usual. It didn't matter either way if it was all collected in one place or not. It was all difficult to clean up. It was just very hot and everything was heavy. Anyway, let's just do as best as we can. It would be terrible if we had a heat stroke. Yeah, it's a terrible thing. And also, you don't like the heat because you're a fox. Well, that's what I imagined anyway. I thought you would prefer the cooler seasons. Right. You're good because you can stay in the house. She will make it back in the wild now. She had totally adapted to human life and now harsh environments would be impossible for her. She seemed to have no thoughts of going back, so it was fine for her. We continued working quietly. It was still hot. Even if I wiped it off, the sweat was continually dripping off of my face. Shiro, is everything okay? Shiro had the same situation going on, with her bangs stuck to her forehead from the sweat. Her fox ears were dropping as well. While she continued to work without rest. You can take a break regularly, Shiro, don't hurt yourself. It's because you are worried about the fact that you ate my pudding. She smiled after saying that, even being tired. It was simple and uninteresting work, but she kept doing it without complaint. She was sincerely quite kind. Even though I had known it from before, I felt it even more strongly. You don't need to help us every day. Don't you want to play, Shiro? No! We are very happy to have you. You wouldn't be alone. Kon's there, right? I see. Kon was nocturnal. She woke up to make breakfast, but afterwards seemed to be sleepy. Anyway, she was doing housework, so it would have been difficult for her to have played with Shiro. Anyway, today was very hot. Let's relax in the house afterwards. Yeah, hey, take this and get some water in your body. With that, I passed her the bottle which Kon had given to me. There was enough water left inside. Don't be shy, I drank a lot when you weren't looking. That's right, it will be cold because the ice still hasn't melted. Then she stretched her hand and started to drink from it. If she had drunk the cold water little by little, it would have been better. Above all, dehydration is very scary. You must be thirsty. Drink a lot. Be my guest. Yeah, sure. She must have been very thirsty. Because she had been doing such a good job. It seemed better to go home early that day. I didn't want us to get sick. What about me? It's fine. She had drunk it all while I was in a daze. We finished working quickly because of that. The work progressed forward quickly because Shiro did her best after having the water break. Good job, Shiro. I ought to get home quickly and have a shower. Oh, there is water right there, by the way. Both of us were sweaty. I thought about that and turned around and looked at her. Yeah. After working, she smiled. All of that was good, but something important was floating. Not floating, actually becoming visible. Yeah, you sweat a lot, you must be. Her usual shrine robes were stuck to her body tightly with sweat. I could clearly see the outline of her body. She wasn't as big as Kon. That's all you get. And her robe was slightly transparent. Was it better to say something? Or, you know, she's a girl, so I shouldn't talk about those things. I couldn't decide. No, it's nothing. What do you mean? Yeah, that must be that. It is hot, but... Furthermore, she didn't notice herself at all. So it was alright. I thought so, but it could also be an act of kindness to point out. Hey Shiro, can I ask you a question? I was a little concerned. Maybe about, maybe it's because you had a lot of water. What? Your shrine robes are transparent. Oh. For ordinary girls, it would be a big deal if we could see. Yeah. For normal ones. Even if a fire happened, even if an earthquake occurred, it would be important to remain hidden. However, for sure that didn't seem to be the case. Maybe she didn't have any knowledge of that topic. Or I guess that it might be because she had little interaction with humans. She wasn't concerned with how the opposite sex might seen her. The opposite means me. That would be better. Well, that was the big deal. Because this was Shiro, I didn't feel too embarrassed about it. She was like a little sister or even a pet. A pet? What? So even if I could see what I can see, I wasn't worried about it. Maybe. I was worried. I wasn't. Just a little bit more until we get home. No! No way! Absolutely not! They were completely different from the clothes we just absorbed sweat. Maybe because she was originally a fox girl, the sweating shrine robes disturbed her. It didn't mean, however, that she could be naked. Those betters were unconscious as opposed to Kon. I wasn't sure if it was because she was just young or it was because she was a fox girl. Even though the cloth is thin, it still protects your body, so it's important to keep it on. And also shrine robes look good on you. It's cute on you. Oof. Phew. She didn't care about the transparency of her clothes. She just felt good that I called her cute. Somehow I stopped her from moving them. Anyway, she was a girl. Well, shall we go home, take a big shower, and rinse all the sweat off? Don't touch mine. The work finished and we went back down the mountain. On our way home, I was a bit worried about where my eyes wandered to. By the time we got home, they dried completely. The clothes. I rinsed off in the shower and changed. And then proceeded to my favorite porch. I could feel the temperature following suit of the setting sun. I wondered if there was a big difference in temperature between night and day. Coupled with the sound of the wind chimes, I felt cool. Well, Shiro, please. While I was cooling off, she came out. Yeah, what about you? Do you feel better? You don't need to stress so much. And we need to change those clothes. How many pairs of shrine robes do you two have? As she said it, it didn't stink. The shrine robe smell was just the smell of the sun. Kon or Grandma had probably washed it. How is it? What? What's different about it? That's the difference? What's so special about that? Even if she said so, I couldn't understand it quickly. I actually have no idea. I guess she might be imitated the sewing by listening to the famous jeans story. What's the famous jeans story? Kon seemed to have studied human society. The focus of her study was a little misdirected, but I wanted to learn about her ambition. Yeah, of course. She sat down next to me. She ate ice cream while I glanced at the garden in a daze. How many times did I relax there like that? I spent some days like that, it was becoming second nature to me. How long could it keep going on? Well, surely until the end of summer. Then, if that was so, I needed more summer. As I glanced at the sunset, I felt more nostalgic than usual. Thanks for help today, Shiro. Let's play tomorrow. We need to make up for today. She's falling asleep. Shiro? Huh? She made a strange sound. When I suspected what was happening, she suddenly stood up and stood in front of me. What? Told you she was falling asleep. In the blink of an eye, she suddenly lay down. She must have definitely been tired. Soon after she lay down, I heard the cute sounds of her sleeping. She had her head on my lap. She curled up her small body. Her smooth knees were adorable. She couldn't help it. I shifted my body a bit to make it more comfortable for her. My previous position would have been uncomfortable to use as a pillow, so I was considerate of her. She slept so soundly I probably didn't need to worry much about it. Although she slept, her tail was ever so quietly swaying. Her hand tightly grasped the hem of my clothes. I sometimes squinted from the setting sun. As I watched her sleep, I felt very calm. However, my legs were very numb. But I couldn't wake her up. I let her sleep silently. The wind chimes and her sleeping face relaxed me after the tiredness of the day. Compared to the therapeutic forest, this scene made me feel more comfortable. Well, there might be a problem about me moving to it. Kon! As I relaxed, Kon's voice came from the living room. I looked up at the evening sky and saw the corners starting to turn indigo. The night was fast approaching, the hot day coming to an end. As I listened to Shiro sleeping, I felt sad that the dusk was ending. Yeah, it must be my usual spot. We didn't play today. She helped me with the work all day, I said because I was trying to protect her pride. Above all, she seriously helped me that day. Right, yes. Really? Huh. What does she say? Well, for example... Uh-huh. I can accept that. Tell me directly when she notices. Hey, isn't it about Shiro? Well, don't say too much. It seemed that they were talking about me when I wasn't around. It was better than indifference, but somehow my ears were burning. We can let her sleep, right? She'll wake up when she's hungry. Yeah, sure. Grandma and Grandma hadn't returned from the doctor's yet. They might have gone to run errands. Fine. A bit. Don't make me too excited. Huh. Sometimes Con would say those kinds of mischievous things. I mean, she's a fox girl. She has to be foxy. She was like a normal human girl, but could be even more childish than Shiro in a way. It was rather opposed to Shiro's childishness, which didn't understand matters of sex. Anyway, it didn't matter. Well, I put her down, so Con, please get ready for dinner. I ignored the numbness in my legs and stood up with Shiro in my arms. She was very small and light. Contrary to that, a big cute fox ear was tickling my face. She's really sleeping well. By the way, where's her room? Anywhere there's a bed. Well, my room is okay then. Okay. So, as I told before, Kon, you shouldn't come in my night. I tried to warn her, but she rebuked me. Luckily, she slept deeply then, so she didn't wake up. I would like to sleep normally for the rest of my vacation. Dude, don't complain! Shiro, don't you think so? Instead of replying, her foxy twitched. The tickling sensation naturally relaxed me. And then, on another one of our days off, I was bored, so I weeded the garden from the morning. Previously, I was just bored from the boredom. But recently, I had to move my body somewhat so I could relax. Surprisingly, I thought that this kind of manual labor would be more suitable for me. I tried to think about the future. Today is all so peaceful. While watching the sky, I mumbled to myself. That day was also hot, but not as bad as before. The weeding in the garden was very good. Strangely, I was getting used to the smell of the soil at that time. Huh? What's this? As I weeded, I noticed a suspicious-looking object in the corner. A fishing rod leaning haphazardly. I wondered if that was there before. I had the feeling it wasn't there before yesterday. Don't shout like that. I'm fine, but Grandma and Grandpa will be started and fall down. As I relaxed, suddenly Shiro appeared. She was full of energy today as well. You can play for a bit, but I'll be busy until I finish the garden. Can you wait? That's probably Grandpa's fishing rod. Okay. She was quite interested in the fishing rod I was holding. She held it and inspected it from various angles. Is this your first time to see one? Oh, you haven't gone fishing with Grandpa? I mean, I guess. I've never been fishing myself. I don't think so, it's fun. Yeah, a little. It's fun to do. My classmate at university loved to go fishing. I wasn't interested in it at all, but one day I went along with him. When I tried it, it was surprisingly fun and I enjoyed fishing several more times. Do you want to go after we finish working? But we only have one rod, we'd better ask Grandpa. Today's play had been decided. We weeded the place and finished, then we returned home quickly. Wanna tag along? Sorry. While we ate Con's lunch, we confirmed everyone's schedule. My grandparents went to a neighborhood meeting. I thought they were bored, but actually elderly people stay very busy. Really? He has a lot? Is 10 a lot? Wow. I don't know. It may have been Grandpa's secret hobby. If there are a lot, it would be fine to borrow one. Probably. Anyway, now we can have a fishing contest together. Fishing is surprisingly difficult. Well, I'll teach you. Even if I said that, I was actually also a beginner. Not a complete beginner, so I may have been alright to teach. Regardless of the contest, I was looking forward to it. Wow. Con held them all bunched together and brought them to me. The amount of equipment there suggested that it was more than a hobby to Grandpa. I want that one with the new and glittering metallic parts. The all black one. Cool! I would not say that, by the way. When I gripped it, it naturally fit my palm, as if it was custom made for me. When I cast it, it felt perfect in my hand. It wasn't a weapon, but it had a strong feeling to it. How's it going? Do you think it's good? Right. So cheap. Well, whatever, I'm just a beginner. The one that I had thought was really good was actually a cheap one. I was disappointed. But a good workman doesn't blame his tools. Really? Shiro chose a bamboo rod, which I wasn't sure was for fishing or not. It looked good for Shiro with the shrine ropes, but was very old-fashioned. And she's like, it's worth 1,000. If you like it, that's fine, but honestly, I don't think you can get a lot of fish with it. Okay, I mean, I said 1,000, but hey, it's 100. Seriously? By the way, Kon, why do you know so much about it? She's like a pro, basically. We have another fishing maniac on our hands. She started to say technical things. What was the flexibility of the rod? I have no idea what that was. This conversation meant Shiro could catch a fish, but I couldn't. I want to do it like that. Hey, it doesn't mean that you couldn't. I was still worried, but anyway, we came to several rivers. As usual, it was cool and the bubbling sound of water was comfortable. Let's swim next time, we'll come again. I like the river, but that day I was fishing. Of course, if I caught something, I didn't release it. We'll eat it while we catch it. I mean, what we catch, sorry. I wasn't sure if the river fish we would catch would be tasty or not, but Kon would cook it very well. Yeah, let's prepare. You seem confident. Isn't it your first time to fish? What? I wasn't aware of the penalty for losing. She taught you a lot. I'm definitely going to win. Oh, I said that I was feeling strange. Anyway, I was the one who had originally asked. It was just fishing after all. Kon had said that there seemed to be a vast difference between the rods we were using, but the fish wouldn't care about it. In some atolls, quality come down to a matter of self-satisfaction, and whether we could catch anything or not came down to luck. I concluded with that and prepared to lure. I mean, a lure. Shiro, do you know how to make a lure? Huh. Bait! Live bait. It's grotesque. Shiro had a small box containing a crowd of burying earthworms. When did she get all of those? It's so rough. She grabbed it and stuck it on a without mercy. Very good at it. I prefer to use this lure. I wasn't cut out to use the live bait. But for the fish, it didn't matter if it was live bait or a lure. At last, we started fishing. Let's fish at this spot, Shiro. You can sit down here. We started on the rocks and dropped our lines into the water. There are some tricks on how to move the lure. As my friend had taught me, I twitched the line often. When I had gone swimming there before, there were many fish, so sooner or later, they would bite. Why do I have a feeling he will get his ass whooped in this fishing contest? Anyway, yeah, it is. It's a nice weather. Yeah, me too. As far as I'm concerned, it does. That's right, but even if you think you can't get anything, don't go jumping in. I had a feeling you will, so I have to remind you. It's not just about catching the fish. We can drop the line in and enjoy a valuable, relaxing time. So even if you don't get anything, don't worry. Getting a fish is just a bonus. Nah, it's too soon. Before I finish talking about what I learned from my friend, Shiro had caught one very quickly. The pattern I had imagined turned out to really happen. Anyway, even if I had complained, nothing could have changed, so I removed the hook from the fish. Are you having a good time? That's good. Okay. I want to share in the excitement, so I desperately tried to adjust my lure. But it wasn't that easy. Maybe it was totally different than bass fishing. I rethought my approach and devised a plan. Really? She proudly presented her fishing rod. At the end of the line was a small glittery trout caught on the hook. Yeah, it is. I kept my mouth shut. People are people, or foxes. I had to just focus my fishing rod. Shiro, don't you want to try fishing rods with me for a while? However, even if I had put all my attention on fishing, I still couldn't catch anything. So I started grasping at straws. After 2 hours had passed, I still wasn't getting anything. Meanwhile, Shiro was constantly bringing them in. It seemed that the fish could understand the differences between the rods. If you think about it, it makes sense. I want to believe that's the reason why the rods had such a difference in price. Shiro, let's try a different spot. I tried to find the calls one by one. We traded rods, and I changed the bait. Finally, I was down to change the location. But still nothing. What's your secret? Yeah, you do have one. You're cunning. Hang on a minute, please. In a short period of time, our positions were reversed and she proudly stood upright. She showed off her small breasts. But if she revealed her secret, I would be catching fish as well. That's not help at all, you've got to give me more than that. What kind of clever sensor is that? It could have been natural to her. As a mere human, I couldn't imitate that. Anyway, let's get back to it. I'd really like to get one. In our lives, bonuses are very important. Recently, if you buy a popular artist CD, you can get a free gift. I wasn't following my own train of thought either. Even though the fishing contest winner was clearly visible, I kept dropping the line in. And then... Not yet! She was already bored with fishing, and had set her rod down. I also wanted to fish until boredom, but it wasn't going to happen that day. Yeah, that's right. Okay. I hadn't expected her to give me guidance. I was so pathetic and felt like crying. I started getting ready to go home. In the small cooler box there were many of the fish that she had caught. She stared at them with bright eyes. And... Kun, she's not awful thick, Shiro. Be reasonable. She didn't forget the penalty phase, even though she had an absolute win. Next time, I wouldn't agree to it. That was my lesson learned that day. Why, are you tired? Okay, that's fine. Whoa! Just as soon as I agreed, Shiro had jumped on me. Never mind about that, just hold on the equipment and fish. Hanging onto my shoulders, she seemed to manage holding the stuff as well. Fortunately, she wasn't heavy. I would be alright to go back home like that. Okay, okay. That's good, I'm glad. Although the fishing was disappointing for me, I was glad to have seen her enjoying herself. Nonetheless, I want to taste a little bit more of the fun, if I could have. There are a lot of things for human beings we can't finish during the summer. Shiro and I walked along, talking about summer fun. Saying some things she knew about, others she didn't. Even though I couldn't catch any fish, just spending time with her was fun. What could we do together next? While we were on our way home, I kept thinking about that all the while. Is it the next day, perhaps, already? I think so. Anyway, I mean, we went fishing. That's the day. Anyway, end the episode. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you tomorrow, of course. Bye-bye.